Hello everybody, my name is Bibi Apampa, and thank you very much for inviting me to the Youth Empowerment Summit. The Youth Empowerment Summit is coming at a time when I think it's really needed, really the theme, which is building massive influence, impact, and income. Building massive impact, influence, and income. I know a number of speakers are here and they're going to do justice to this particular topic. And I love the lineup of the speakers. I believe we are all in for a good time this period of the year. I'll be talking about building influence. How do you build influence? How do you become a celebrity influencer? What are the steps to take to building influence? And when you become an influencer, how can you monetize your influence? Everything I'm going to discuss today has already been uploaded to wealthacademy.org/youth summit. www.wealthacademyafrica.org/youth summit, because I'll be going a bit fast, so please go there and download the PowerPoint, and there are some other resources I'll put there for you as well. So I'll start. What do I mean? Why do we need to build influence at all? Why do we need to build influence? You find out that the most trusted people in the world are celebrities. People buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. People they know are usually influencers who become celebrities. People they like are celebrity influencers. People they trust is the image and the relationship that they build with their followers. So that's why celebrity influencers have large followings, and that's why many companies use them now to endorse and advertise their products. Knowing this, you understand why it is very important for us to learn how to build influence, especially in this post-COVID world, and how you can position yourself, not just as an influencer, but as a celebrity influencer in the market. Today we're going to cover a number of things. As I said, I'm going to go a bit fast. We're going to look at how do you get a niche? Which area do you want to be known for? How do you become the go-to person in that area, the influencer in that area? How do you build that influencer brand, your personal brand? How do you build it and improve it so that it gets to influencer level where companies will be approaching you for them to advertise their products to you? We're going to look at influencer branding, celebrity branding. How do you brand yourself? We're starting from getting a niche, building a brand, and then building that brand up to celebrity level. Building the infrastructure so you become web famous. So that when people are looking for somebody in your niche, in your area, your name will always come up. Then we'll look about how do you build and grow your network. And while you're growing your network, how do you create products that are branded with your name, with your brand, that becomes another source of income for you. And finally, we're going to look at how can you be everywhere. So when people are looking for your name, just keep popping up. There's some people keep wondering, are they the only ones? Why is it that their name always pop up in conversation? We're going to look how you can do that as well, and how your name can come up and have you everywhere. Now we'll start. How do you choose your niche? How do you choose an area where you want to specialize? So when they're looking for people in that area, they look for you. For example, I'm known as the Retirement Queen. That's because I've grown that niche into an area that when you type requirement niche in your browser, or you type Retirement Queen, my name comes up. I'm known also as the Queen Maker. Why those things? Because those are names, those are niches and areas of brands that are built up over the time and have a following down it. So that way, my name comes up in those niches, in those areas when people are discussing it. And so where do we start? How do you build an area where people are going to look for, and then they pick you as the one that they feel, yes, this is the person, the go-to person for this area? One, when you are choosing your area, your niche, it describes your topic. What topic do you want to specialize in? For instance, for the Retirement Queen niche that I'm known for, it's for helping people to retire healthy, wealthy, and wise, so that their retirement can be a time of peaceful, prosperous retirement. Now that is the topic, that is the area I talk about. And that is just one of my niches that I talk about. Now, as the Queen Maker, I talk more about female empowerment. How do you empower the girl child? How can the ladies become more financially empowered? So I talk more about building businesses, I talk more about empowerment, I talk more about creating companies and growing companies. Now for that area, it's a bit different from the retirement queen. So there are two different niches, but the topic that I talk, you can see they are almost interrelated, but they are still different because one caters for ladies exclusively as they're growing up, right from the time when they're the girl child, monitoring them, showing them how they can succeed and excel in life. Meanwhile, for the retirement queen, it talks about how to be prosperous and have a peaceful, healthy, wealthy retirement. So your topic is very important. After choosing your topic, you now look at your audience. Everybody is not your audience. You need to determine who fits into your audience so that you know how to market effectively and properly to them. For instance, I have somebody who is into the fitness niche, but in her own case, she specializes more in bridal fitness. And what she does specifically is for brides who want to change their physique, and she gives a guarantee that I work with brides and we change their physique in 90 days, which is 3 months. Which means for every bride that comes, she guarantees that they would lose 1 to 2 dress sizes. Now, a niche is not everybody. A niche is targeting the bridal niche. So you need to know exactly what your topic is and the audience that you want to target. Now, in choosing your niche, you need to look at the products. What products can I produce in that area? For instance, if you go and choose an area, a niche that people are not going to buy anything from you, then that niche is not a very profitable niche. You need to look at an area that if I specialize in this area, knowing fully well that they always pay specialists more, the specialists dictate their prices more than generalists. They need to find out, okay, if I decide to specialize in this area, people will look for me in this area. So there must be products I can produce or I can sell that would be an additional stream of income for me in this area. For instance, there's somebody that I know that I saw their advert. They specialize more in natural hair. I know many ladies now are doing more of natural hair than using the chemical products. Now, apart from saying that my salon specializes more for natural hair, she now has a range of she products that she sells that helps with the hair, with taking care of hair grooming. So find out that she has created a set of products that becomes an additional source of income. When people go to make hair at her place, not only does she make the hair, she also sells products under her own name to them. And then your niche must be one that agrees with your values. For example, I cannot say I'm in the retirement niche as the retirement queen, and then things that don't agree with my values. I'm trying to think of one now that could clash with the retirement niche, and then I'm now going into that area, or then my value system does not correlate with the retirement niche, or with empowering ladies, or with financial empowerment, which is another area which I teach on. So you need to be sure that your values, they also correlate with that particular niche that you are choosing. Finally, you need to have a mission statement. If they're asking what we want to do, your mission statement is able to tell people in 2 sentences exactly why you are doing what you are doing. If you cannot say a mission statement that relates to what you are talking about, the niche you want to specialize in, then there will be a bit of a challenge there for you. So why do you need to have a niche? Why do you need to specialize? Why do you need to specialize in something? We all know it very well that if you're going to a doctor, maybe you have malaria, you can actually go to just any doctor, any clinic, and any doctor will be able to treat you for malaria. But if you have something to do with the brain, and they tell you you need to see a brain surgeon, you wouldn't be looking around for just any doctor. You'll be looking for a brain surgeon. That's the thing about specializing and having a niche while building and creating influence. You are viewed as an expert. That's the first one. Then it's easier as an expert to be an expert at one thing than to be an expert in 1,001 things. We're looking at you becoming a big fish in a small river than getting lost as a small fish in a big river. And then when you are in a particular niche, you become the influencer, the one that is known, the expert for that area. You find out now that in Nigeria, for instance, even in Africa, if you type into your Google and you are looking for a female speaker that talks of financial empowerment or retirement strategies or female empowerment, you find out that my name would come up. Why? Because I have developed that niche. I have products, I talk a lot on it, I have books on it. So people see me on that niche. And I'll talk about that later, how you can be everywhere. So that when they type that thing in, your name would come up, that particular area you want to specialize in. So how do you choose your niche? How do you choose the area you want to specialize in? The first thing is, what do you have a natural flair for? What are the things that people compliment about you? That is different, that is just unique to you. That is one. Secondly, you might need to look into Google. What area are people searching for? What are the trending topics in Google? What are the trending topics in if you on MSN, on forums? What are the products that are available? What are the books that are written about that particular niche? That will give you an idea if the niche you're choosing or the area you want to go into is a profitable one or not. These are very important because these are the things you need to do to really know where you're going to start, become a specialist on when you want to create and build influence. So now in creating influence, building influence, what do we need to do? The first thing you need to do is to build your personal brand. What do I mean by a personal brand? When you're writing your own story, when you're writing anything about you, you should be the one who holds the pen. Don't let somebody else write your story for you. What do I mean by that? When they're talking about your brand, what you represent, it affects the words that you speak, it affects your appearance, your integrity, your conduct, your values. So that when they say, oh, for instance, when they introduce me as the Queen Maker and they say, what do you do? I don't tell them I'm a public speaker. I tell them, no, I help ladies to succeed, excel, and prosper. So that becomes a line that people say, how do you do that? So I found out that it opens up the conversation than saying, oh, I'm a public speaker, I'm a professional, motivational speaker. That's like an end statement. When I tell people as a Queen Maker, I help ladies succeed, excel, and prosper, it always opens up. So how do you do that? That's usually the next question. So whatever you want to do, what you want to be called, is very, very important. Because sometimes people will not remember your name, but they'll remember the title, your alias, or what you are referred to. So that's why it's important to choose something that people would relate and would remember about you. So like if you Google Queen Maker or you Google Retirement Queen, my name would come up because those are the areas where I specialize in. And then if you Google Financial Empowerment Africa, my name would come up. Or Wealth Academy Africa, my name would come up. That's because those are the areas, building wealth and financial wealth. Those are the areas I specialize in. So what you be called is very, very important. Who you are. What do I mean by who you are? You cannot say, for instance, I cannot say I'm the Queen Maker and then I'm working with men. Some of the two don't go together. So whatever you want to be involved in needs to speak to who you are as a person. Now, for instance, if I change my name and I become, I'm trying to think of something now, godmother to young men, something like that, you understand that, okay, that is the area I'm looking at. Those are the areas I want to specialize in. So people will see it differently than saying Queen Maker. So your name and who you are needs to go together so that the two are incongruent. Then who do you want to help? Never look at going into business or creating influence as what can I make. though this is a rich niche, this is a rich area, I will make a lot of money there. No, it's always, how can I serve? How can I have a platform that will serve many people? You know, the more people you serve, the more income, the more resources that would flow into you. So it has to be, who can I help? How can I help people? Who are the people I can help? Who are the people I can serve? And then we now go, we're talking about building your personal brand and creating influence. Then we now look at your logo. Your logo should speak. What I mean by your logo should speak? Your logo should introduce you and make it easily recognizable. For instance, if you see Coca-Cola logo, you recognize Coca-Cola immediately. If you see McDonald's, just the M that you see, you recognize it immediately. That's the thing about having a logo that speaks. That people see that color and you're consistent with that color, and they see that, oh, this brand has come to stay. So your logo is important. Then your elevator speech. I told you earlier that when people ask me, what do you do? I don't just tell them what I do. I tell them how I serve, how I help people. So when people ask me, what do you do? Depending on the forum or depending on the people that I'm meeting there, I look at the niche that I think I want to be known in that circle. For example, people say, oh, Queen Maker. Why are you a Queen Maker? What do you do as a Queen Maker? I said, oh, I help ladies to succeed, excel, and prosper. That is my elevator speech. Helping ladies succeed, excel, and prosper. Now, if I go to another place and I'm introduced as the retirement queen, said, oh, what do you do? I won't just say I'm a retirement queen. I'll just say, oh, I help people to retire, to have a peaceful retirement, healthy, wealthy, and wise retirement. So I more or less describe what I do, and then it opens up the line for people to ask me more questions, and that way I'm able to get more people into my circle of influence one, and then I'm able to get more people to introduce, to recommend me for when they think, oh, I've heard about this lady, she says she empowers lady to succeed, excel, and prosper. Oh, you're worried about your retirement. Oh, there's a retirement queen that helps people to plan for a peaceful retirement. So, those are the things that you need to, your elevator speech is very, very important. Then you need to live out your brand. What do I mean by live out my brand? For instance, if I'm selling clothes and I have like a Queen Bibi brand, I should wear my clothes. So when people see me and they said, oh, this clothes looks nice, I'll just say, oh, it's from the Queen Bee line. You understand? So you should live out your brand. For instance, I cannot say I'm a queen maker and then you see me outside wearing boob tubes and shorts or mini skirts. That does not reflect the image of a queen maker. So you should live out your brand. For instance, if you're into music and your music is, I'm trying to think of the different areas of music now, they seem to go over my head. What I'm trying to say is that you find out that most musicians, they build a brand that is recognizable to their music. The way they dress, the way they appear, the way they talk, is to promote that brand which they are building or which they have built. So that's why it's important for you to live out your brand. Let people see that brand in you. Now, how do you build credibility? We've talked about choosing your niche. We've talked about building your personal brand, the things you need to do to build your personal brand. Now you need to add credibility to it. Why do you need to have credibility? I cannot come in and say I'm world heavyweight boxing champion when I've never done any boxing, gone into any boxing ring. I won't be credible. So how do you have credibility when you are building influence into whatever you are doing? One thing I always recommend for all my clients is that they should write a book. Why do they need to write a book? The book, when you write a book and you tell people I am a published author, it gives an air of, oh, this person must be an expert, this person must know what he's doing, this person must be must be recognized for what he's doing. For instance, I'm a musician. It won't be a book, it will be a CD, or you understand that people would know and say, oh, okay, this is my product, this is what I do. That's whatever it is that you want to produce, want to bring out, must represent who you are as, you know, as your personal brand. When I talk about writing book, is there's something they call educational selling. What do I mean by educational selling? It's like you're more or less educating your proposed client for them to know this is what I specialize in. I am the expert in this area, and I can help you along this area. So if we are going to look at, in building credibility, we're going to look at online, offline credibility techniques, and we're going to look at online credibility techniques. The book comes in both online and offline. What do I mean by that? When you write a book, you can upload the book to Kindle, Amazon Kindle. It is free to upload. It's free to start opening to open your account on Kindle, and it is free to upload your book. Even if you are not charging, if all you are charging is 99 cents for the book, just having your book on Kindle, you're able to tell people, oh, my book is on Amazon. I talk about so and so on my book on Amazon. Then it's always advised for you to have some printed copies of the book, so that that book actually now becomes your complimentary card. So when people ask you for a complimentary card, I tell, oh, I don't have a complimentary card here, but I have a copy of my book, I'll just autograph it for you. You know, just that statement of saying, I don't have a complimentary card, but I have my book, I will autograph it for you. It gives you a level like, oh, this person is a serious person. This person knows what he's doing. You can imagine if I'm a singer and you ask me, so what do you do? Oh, I sing gospel songs, or contemporary music, and I just say, oh, have my CD, let me just autograph it for you. Because I'm giving you a gift. One, what am I doing? I'm opening the door for you to have something that when you are in your closet, you see something that you got from me, and you would remember me after. So that's why the book comes very important. An authority book. And this authority book doesn't need to be a book of 100 pages. So it might just be a simple book of 10 pages, 11 pages, but that touches on specific points of areas of challenges in the particular niche that you're talking about. Like, for instance, the retirement as a retirement queen, I give out a free book on peaceful retirement planning. This peaceful retirement plan, you can get it on Amazon, you can download the book from my website, and it's free. Why am I giving it for free? Most people like that word free. And that is one way of building influence. When people see that you're not just out to take, but you're always out to give, you're always out to serve, you're always out to help. It opens doors, because then they feel that, okay, you've helped them. They will see areas where they feel they can come in to help you as well. That has happened to me so many times in my life. Now, what are the other online techniques you can use? Having an authority platform. This authority platform can be your website, it could be your blog, and definitely, you need to have your social media accounts. You need to have all these, those are the things that build authority. When people type your name in Google, it should not just appear in one place. It should appear as a book, it should appear as a blog, it should appear in a website, it should appear in a review, it should appear in maybe a Facebook group, on social media, your Instagram, it should appear on a Facebook page. You should have it all over. It's important because you're trying to build credibility. And when you're building credibility, you cannot just appear on only one platform. You need to appear on multiple platforms. When people talk about you, or when something is written about you, or you made a comment that comes out, maybe you make a blog post, blog, you post a comment there, so it comes out, your name keeps coming out. in that particular area where you're trying to be known as a specialist, as an expert in. So we're talking about also you may be having a YouTube channel. Those are some of the things you were looking at when you are coming in, we're talking about building credibility. And then your Facebook account, your Facebook page, your Instagram account should have postings regularly. If you cannot do it daily, or do it at least 2 times a week, post something on your social media account that relates to your niche, that relates to your area of expertise. Now, let us now look at offline techniques. Offline technique, we talked about the book already, so you should have a book. It's like a tips booklet that just gives tips on the area where you're specializing in. You should have print publications. These print publications should have your logo on it and your colors. The colors that you maintain must be uniform all round. You don't want to appear in blue on one print media and then you appear as red in another print media. People should be able to see your brand and recognize your colors, that this is your brand, because you're trying to build credibility. You're creating influence, building influence. So it should be recognizable as being you. So your print publication should always have the same color scheme. It should always have the same logo, and it should be consistent. Everything you're saying, everything you're doing should be good. There should be a consistency in it. So your advertising materials, your flyers, your brochures should also follow the same theme. Should follow the same color, the same colors code. It should follow the same, your logo should be on it. It should be consistent. Then now you need to join like trade associations. You need to join network teams, network with teams and all, so that you're consistently out there. People are always seeing you in one form or the other. That's where you build credibility. Then when you're after building credibility, you now need to build infrastructure that will make you become web famous. But the thing is, you find out that most people, when they're searching for things now, they go on Google. So if they go on Google and for instance, maybe they're looking for a barber in a particular area, and you are very good, will your name come up? Or if they're looking for a lawyer, will your name come up for that particular area, or for that area you want to specialize in? Will your name come up? This is why you need to build infrastructure that will make sure that your name keeps coming up and you become web famous. So how do you do this? The first thing you need to do, we look at your social media marketing network. Try as much as possible to create at least 10 social media properties. Why do I say 10? There are over 50, over 100 social media networks. There's some very popular ones which you should be on. Facebook, you need to be there depending on your niche. Instagram, depending on your Instagram is now is more popular than Facebook. So you need to be on Facebook, you need to be on Instagram, you need to have a YouTube account. If possible, you can be on TikTok, depending on what you do and how you want to spread yourself. Having a blog, then being on LinkedIn. Those are the top main ones that you need to go on. But there are other ones. While we talk about 10 different social media properties, it's just to make sure that when they type in your name just doesn't come up under one platform. It comes up on multiple platforms. So that way it builds credibility that, this person knows what he's doing. They're talking about this person in this platform. The name comes up in this other platform as well. So you need to have multiple platforms. That's why you need to have at least 10 social media properties created. Then you need to have a video that would introduce you. It's going to be like it's an intro video that which you will distribute. What does this intro video look like? The thing is, they should have something like a 3 to 5 minutes video where you are doing what you specialize in. For instance, if I specialize in cakes and I want people to see me as the expert, as the go-to person that makes cake in a particular area or in a particular niche, I would show videos of me decorating different cakes, and it will all come out like a reel. It's called a celebrity reel. It will come out as it might even be pictures, but it will come out as a reel showing different things different cakes that I've decorated, showing me decorating the cakes, showing me maybe a customer coming in and excited at the cake I give to them. So you need to have that kind of cake, like an intro cake. This intro cake will be on all your platforms. And when you now even upload it to YouTube, there's something we call a video blast. You blast it to at least about 20 to 30 other video platforms. And using different keywords. What are keywords? Keywords are what people would put into Google when they're searching for a particular thing. For instance, let's take the example of the cake designer. So people were looking for wedding cake. So best wedding cake, most vibrant wedding cake, most beautiful wedding cake, affordable wedding cake. So you look for the kind of words that people would search, and then have your area, the area where you serve. So if it's like best wedding cake London, most beautiful cake Lagos, creative children's cake Abuja. So you had what you do, and then you put your location on it as well. So when people are searching and looking into Google, your name would come up, your business would come up. So that's why the sizzle reel video is very, very important. It's just about 3 to 5 minutes, but it would like showcase you and what you do. And then you need to, your website, your blog, you need to submit it to directories. And you need to do this regularly, like once every 3 months or once every 6 months, because any new thing you put up, you want it to be indexed and you want it to spread. You want Google to pick it up. So you need to always submit to directories. Then you have talked about video distribution, how you need to distribute your video, not just on YouTube, but on as many platforms as possible. And then there's something we call a local geographical marketing. There's something like local listing on Google and Google Places. So you should have whatever you do, it should be on Google Places. You should have a place where people search, local listing. Your name should come up, whatever it is that you're doing should come up. And then you need to now create a wheel that will link all your activities together. That what you're doing there is you're trying to establish credibility and authority. For instance, if you type my name in, if it takes you to my website, on my website, it links to other blogs, it links to my YouTube channel, it links to my Facebook, it links to my Instagram, my LinkedIn. So it's like you get to one, you click on it, it takes you to another one, and the other one it takes you to, links you to. So it's like they're all linked together. So that way, by the time you come and you're searching for me, you are not just looking in one area. You are seeing my name come up, you are seeing my work come up, you are seeing my one interview or one play or one comment I made on them. You are seeing them all come up in different angles. That's the thing you need to do to build credibility in whatever area that you want to specialize in. And then you need to write professional press release. For instance, and this should come up like once every 6 months, an international press release that will be submitted through a PR agency. You can look at all these things online. The thing is that Google, the way the algorithm on Google works, they always place news items higher in ranking than other items. So when you have a news item, which is like a press release, it goes to the top of Google, it goes to the top of the front page of Google, than when you just make a comment or just write an article. So when you have press releases talking about that, that press release will not just appear on just one platform, it will appear on many news agencies. Like the PR agency that I use, when they set out a press release for me, it gets indexed on about 100 to 150 different news agency news platforms. So that way, just a press release I think it's like a boss. It's like it announces what I do or what I'm doing at a particular point in time. So you should always have that kind of thing coming up every 2 months, because we're talking about building credibility. We're talking about starting and building influence from the start, from the beginning, when you have nothing. And then you need to, for what you do as well, you need to have what we call an SEO. SEO is search engine optimization, using relevant keywords. These keywords that people would use when they're searching for you should appear at least 3 times in your article, maybe 3 times on your YouTube channel, on the short video. It should appear on your website, so that when people are looking and searching, your name keeps coming up. This is how you build credibility, because then people would look at it and say, oh, this person who is a lawyer, and maybe let's say you're a family law, you specialize in family law. Oh, they're talking, he made a comment here on this place. He talks about divorce, and he talks about what you need to do if you're getting the divorce, the things, the documents you need to put together. And then while they're talking about that, the next thing comes up again and it says, oh, there was a press release about this lawyer who talked about the family law and how it affects a woman or how it affects the child. So you find out that when you use relevant keywords, things like that, it builds credibility, it makes people trust you more, and it makes people believe that yes, you are the go-to specialist, the expert that they're looking for. Now, in continuing, how do we create influence? You need to now determine or define your social media strategy. What are your social media strategy? Well, you need to identify your social media goals. What do you want to achieve on your social media platforms? Depending on the goal, will determine the platforms that you're in, and the platforms that you grow, and the platforms that defines you. So you have to set your goals, your social media goals, to be specific, to be quantitative, and very, very realistic. For social media goals, you need to define who your audience is. Define who your target audience is. Know their demographic, know their time, when they are usually online, know where they are, their location, the network that they keep, and where they spend their time. This is very important, because there's no point if your audience is usually online at 6 p.m. and then you go and post, you go and do postings at 9 p.m. You have missed your audience. So it's important for you to know the time that most of your audience, the people you want to reach, are online. Then check out your competition. Having competition is good, because then you need to, that way you're able to see what they're doing, how are they achieving their own goals, how are they reaching out and getting their own people that are following them, the other influencers in your area, in your niche, what are they doing, and how can you model what they're doing as well. And then select the best platforms. It's not just any platform that goes for you, depending on what you have. For instance, if what you're doing is very visual, for instance, if I have a fashion brand, and that fashion brand deals more with African attire, let's just say, okay, like African Bubu. That's why African Bubu would not do well on TikTok. You understand? But it would do well on Pinterest, because it's more visual. And it will do well on Instagram, because it's more visual. So you need to see what you do, to see the platforms that relates to you. For instance, I'm a coach, and I coach corporate ladies. Coaching corporate ladies, I need to be on LinkedIn and specialize more on LinkedIn, because corporate ladies or the corporate people I'm trying to coach, most of them will be on LinkedIn. So you need to see the platform, the best platform for you. For promotions, for offers, you're looking more at Facebook, because that is where the audience will be easier for you to catch the audience that you need. Then identify the odd buttons and then create value. What do I mean by the odd buttons? Create content that supports your niche, that supports the challenges that you want to solve in your niche, so that You are creating value, you are helping them to solve their problem, you are helping them to provide answers to the areas where they have challenges. So you have to identify those odd buttons and then create value. Then determine your tone and frequency. This is very important. You cannot say, oh, on YouTube I post videos every week, and then for the next 2 months there's nothing from you. There's no consistency there. The people who are following you, they check the first week, they check second week, there's nothing new from you, they leave. Because there's so much competition out there. So you need to be, if you're doing anything, at least make sure every week you post. Minimum of twice a week. Try as much as possible. Minimum of twice a week. Whatever niche you want to, because we're talking about, building influence, creating influence, maximum impact. You can't do the maximum impact if you're one leg in, one leg out, and you're not consistent. Then engage on social media. Some of your postings should invoke response. So that's why many people, you always see them, they have giveaways. Sometimes they do competitions, just to make sure that there's engagement with their followers. So that's way they're sure that the followers don't leave, because followers is thinking, oh, there's a Black Friday coming up, or there's going to be there's Christmas coming around the corner. We're going to need, there's something special is going to come from this lady or from this man that I'm following. So that things you have to see. And when you now see that something is working, please repeat it. Do it over and over and over again. So apart from looking at your social media strategy, there's something about getting endorsements as well. For instance, most of the time when you look at my picture, you will see as seen on CBS, Fox News, NBC. Those things build credibility. So as much as possible, see how you can be endorsed. Because when somebody endorses, that person is saying, oh, I believe what this person is saying. Part of the endorsement you need to get are referrals, people writing testimonials about what you do, how you have helped them, the kind of person you are. You need all these kind of things. Those are the endorsements that also help you to build credibility. Then how do you now grow your network? Now you've started. People are getting to know you. People are already seeing that, oh, you're an expert in this area. But then how do you grow your network so that more people know about you, more people hear about you, and more people seek you for the problem you can solve? The first thing you have to do is, how do you build a list? It's very, very important. People will tell you the money is in the list. That book that I said you need to write as part of this is about your credibility. How about giving it out for free in exchange for their email address, or in exchange for them signing up to your platform, or in exchange for them following you or liking you, or those are the things you need to do to build your list. The more people you have in your circle of influence, the more influence you would have, and then the more people would seek you out, and then the more brands would approach you to do adverts through you, influencer marketing. So build a list. Then secondly, create a Facebook group. Not just a Facebook account, a Facebook group of people who share similar things. You will join other people's Facebook group because you need to comment. People need to know you in those other groups. But then you need to have your own Facebook group as well, where you lead and where you put in a lot of materials and information that relates to your niche. Then you need to also build maybe like an online forum, or as much as possible, comment on other people's forums, comment on other people's blogs. These are the things that bring out your name, that bring out your area, that bring out your what you do. There's a particular website when I gave a testimonial, and my name and my website appears on it. This comment is given by Bibi Apampa, and my address is there. That particular comment on that blog, I don't know the number of people who have commented and who have contacted me because of that comment that I made. And it was not even my own blog, it was somebody else's blog. But because of the comment I made, people have contacted me and said, oh, it looks like you use this thing to work. How can it work for me? And then how can we collaborate? That's so you find out that way you are getting more people into your circle of influence. Another area of getting more people as to grow your network, to grow your tribe in quotes, is also by creating an association or an academy. So you become the president of the association. For instance, there was one time I was coaching one guy who is a photographer, and I said, it says he gives lessons, he gives classes for people who want to learn photography and videography and things like that. I said, so why don't you set up an academy of photography? He said, what is that? I said, just set up an academy, African Academy of Photographers, and then you are the president of the academy. And that would raise your profile, because now they are not just coming to see a photographer, they are coming to see the president of the Academy of Photographers. I know that just raised his profile, because now it shows on all his stationery, everything, that is the president of the Academy of Photographers. So you can start an association, start an academy, and then you automatically become the president of the academy. That would help to raise your profile and would help you to build influence. Then you now use the power of social media to now grow your brand, grow your influence. How do I do that? One thing I do as well is having joint ventures. For instance, I'm a queen maker. I have a website, I have things I talked about queen maker, and I talked about helping ladies, retirement queen. Now there's a lady who is a budget queen. So I approach her and we collaborate. She gives me things, I post and talk about her on my own platform. I give her material, she talks about me on her own platform. That way I'm exposed to our own audience and she's exposed to my own audience, and the two of us grow together. So that way we collaborate and we have joint venture programs together. Now, those are just areas how you grow your network and optimize whatever your niche and the area that you want to become the expert in, that you're creating and building influence. Another way of building influence, now that you know your niche, you've started growing it, is having branded products. What does the branded product do? They give you another stream of income. Apart from writing books, you can have audios, you can have training programs, you can have coaching programs, you can start writing articles and then your videos on YouTube. When you have this kind of things, for instance, my videos on YouTube, because I'm now a YouTube partner, anybody that watches my video, 1 year from now, 3 years before, I get paid. I get paid by YouTube. And then each of my YouTube videos are all linked to products that I'm either selling as an affiliate. Affiliate means I'm selling other people's products for a commission, or linked to my own personal digital products. Digital products are good because you don't have, you're not carrying products around, it's not physical, so you're able to sell it and download it digitally. So digital products are very good, create and sell. So it's important as much as possible for you to have branded products of what you do. That way it gives you other streams of income, even as you're building and growing your influence. Now, in talking about building influence, like we talked about, massive impacts. We've already looked at how do you find a niche, your niche. We talked about building your brand, your personal brand. We've talked about influencer branding, building credibility. We talked about building structure and infrastructure that will make you become well famous. We talked about growing your network. We talked about creating branded products that would help you have multiple income streams. Finally, now we're going to talk about you everywhere. How do you become web famous? How do you get known and you're seen everywhere? That's the last area we're going to talk about now. One thing is people need to see you. That's on video. People need to hear you. That's audio. People need to read about you. That's on books and in articles. People need to learn from you. That's in training, coaching, consultancy. It's these 4 aspects that make you become an influential celebrity. So you're not just building influence, but you're adding credit. You're adding being credible to it and being a celebrity to it. So become a celebrity influencer, because that's where the money is. That's where you're able to have more people approaching you to solve their problem and to help them advertise and promote their products. So one thing you need to do is make sure you control your own media. What do I mean by your own media? Any information that is released about you need to control it. You need to be in charge. Don't let somebody else write your own story with their own pen. Write your own story with your own pen. So that's where you control what comes out about you, what people know about you, and what you want people to know about you. Then your own content is very, very important. What you want people to read about you, what you want to contribute as the experts in your niche, you need to create it and you need to control it. And then your own public personality. This should talk about your dressing, your speech, your behavior, your attitude, your relationships. For instance, I'm known as the Queen Maker and I'm known as the Retirement Queen. It would not do my brand good if they see me fighting on the street. You understand? That does not help my public personality. It does not help my brand. So you need to look at what are the things that promote your brand. What are the things that promote your niche? So your speech comes in, your dressing is very, very important because people see you before they hear you. So dress the way you want to be addressed. This is very, very important. Then your attitude, it's important as well. And then as your influence grows, people will start quoting you. So you need to know how to answer questions. You only answer the questions that you want to answer, not all the questions that are thrown to you. This is very important. These are things I teach when we're talking about becoming a global celebrity. It's one thing I teach in my coaching. Is one module I teach in my coaching program. How to become a global celebrity. It's important that everything that is written about you, that people hear about, that people know about you, that you control it. You are the one that feeds the media with what you want them to know about you. Then your branding package needs to be total as well. Your book, as I said earlier, your logo, your colors, your social media posts, the articles you write, your YouTube channel, your videos, it needs to be branded. So people will see that brand, people recognize the brand, and people tend to trust a brand that is consistent, that they can see. So what is your celebrity toolkit? What are the things you need to put together even as you become a celebrity influencer? A media kit, I talked about that earlier, just like I'm rounding up and trying to summarize some of the things I've said. A media kit, which includes celebrity quality photos and headshots. Please, for this one, take professional photographs. Let the photograph take you from different angles. Because when people ask for your photograph, you should have an album. You should have different ones that you can give to them that shows who you are, what you have, what you do. So your media kit should include celebrity quality photos and headshots. There should be a short video, I talked about that, a sizzle reel that makes you look like you are a pro on camera. This is just a 3 to 5 minutes sizzle reel. But that sizzle reel that goes into your media kit, it projects you as being the best, as being the most, the expert, the go-to person. Then your elevator page, that's very, very important. When people ask who you are, what do you tell them? How do you introduce yourself? And then you need to have like a info commercial, which is more like a quality, like a television quality type of interview, where people are asking you questions and you're just replying. And that way, and the answers are solutions, are answers to challenges that people have in the niche that you are trying to become the expert in. So that particular high quality video you would have a video plus it would be on different on many platforms. Then you please go and learn how to use how to use Zoom. I mean, now many people do so many conferences, seminars, and meetings on Zoom. So you have to know how to use Zoom. And then you need to know how to go on Instagram Live and Facebook Live. These are things that people will just assume that you know. And you cannot be an influencer if you say you don't know how to use those things. It's just not right, or it just won't be counted as proper. So you need to know how to use all those things and become like pro and expert on it. Know the best angle that you push forward that shows your face in a way that you like, and the way you would talk, the way you project yourself. Those are the things that add to your image in becoming a celebrity influencer. Now just run through what I would say is a monthly activity when you are building your influence to become a celebrity influencer, the things that you need to do. Remember the theme of this conference is building massive impact, influence, and income. Now, what are the recommended monthly activities that you need to get involved in to make sure that after building influence, you're able to maintain the influence, you're able to grow the influence to celebrity level, so you become a celebrity influencer? I recommend that you write 5 articles, depending on your niche, depending on what you want to specialize in. Every month, at least have about 1 article that you write a week. Your article, you upload it to your website, and then you now turn it into a PowerPoint, which will now becomes like a video which you upload to YouTube. And this YouTube video now gets spread on different networks. The article you write, make sure it's submitted to as many article networks as possible, and then you submit it also to print media, depending on the print media that you have around you. But there are so many online platforms already that you can submit the articles to. Make sure the articles are short, sharp, straight to the point, and people can pick 1 or 2, like 5 reasons for these, 5 strategies for that, 7 steps to something. Make it something that is sharp, that people can pick immediately, because people, their attention span is usually very short. So people need something that is fast, that they can pick up easily and just run with. After that, you now need to turn those articles, after sending them to many article networks, turn it into a video. That one is very simple. Just break it into PowerPoint slides, talk about the PowerPoint slides, record over it, and then put it on YouTube, and then blast the video to all the networks as well. And then so you now have this video, you have this article, and then you now also have an Instagram post that talks about the 5 points in your article, which you would post on your Instagram, you post on your Facebook, and you have it on Pinterest, you have it on different platforms. And then and then after you have done article, you've done video, you've turned the video you've turned the article into a video, you've turned the article into an Instagram post. You now look at places where you can have joint ventures, people that would carry your post. Because what you want to do is for your posts, for your videos to go viral. So you might have some friends that you tell them, oh, please help me to post it on your Instagram page as well, or so that that's your particular post goes viral, and then it all links back to you and links back to what you're doing, and that way you're able to expand your circle of influence using joint venture, building on the relationships that you have. YouTube is very important because a lot of YouTube is owned by Google. So when you have any videos that goes on YouTube, automatically Google indexes it very first, and then you end it appearing on the first page of Google. So that makes it easier for you to rank very high in in the Google or on Google. Now, in conclusion, as many of you know, I always like to share stories. When at any of you have been to any of my seminars, any of your trainings, you know I always share stories. Now, the story I want to share is about a little boy who was on the beach, and he was picking up the waves had thrown some of the fish onto the beach and starfishes, and this little boy, young boy, maybe 5-6 years old, was picking up the starfish and throwing back inside the water. And an elderly man came round and he said, "See the expanse of the beach. It's more than 5 kilometers. How many fishes want to throw back into the water?" But the little boy picked up one of the starfish, threw it back into the water, and he said something. He said, "Because of me, this starfish would live. Because of me, I'm making a difference in the life of this starfish. Because of me, this starfish might probably multiply and bring out more fishes that will populate the ocean." He said, "Because of me, I'm making a difference. And because of the difference I'm making in the life of this starfish, more and more fishes will be in the ocean." And he picked up another starfish and he threw it in. This particular conference, we're talking about building massive impact, influence, and income. You cannot build income if you are not making a difference. If you are not building influence, if you are not making maximum impact. It's very important so that you make a difference in people's life. You make an impact in people's life. You touch people's life because they are within your circle of influence. And the more people you touch, the more lives you touch, the more people you serve, the more your income will grow. And the more your influence grows and the more your income grows, the more people know about you, and then it becomes like a spiral thing and it keeps expanding and expanding. That is my message for you today. Learn how to build influence. Be somebody that will make a difference in other people's lives. As I said, everything that I've shared today has already been uploaded to www.wealthacademy.org/youth summit. wealthacademyafrica.org/youth summit. Thank you very much for having me. God bless.